Have you been watching this season?
Oh, of course. Wells makes me.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay, wait. Then I want to know who are your top picks for Katie.
For Katie, so since day one, I think my two front runners were Greg and Andrew. So I was crushed this week.
I know.
Crushed.
It was an intense goodbye.
Yeah.
God, I love him so much. I just wish.
I do too.
I mean, you'll have to see what happens, but. Okay, so Andrew and Greg. Is that what you said?
Yeah, those were my top two from day one. I think the best guy for Katie is Greg. I think they have a great connection. They're adorable together. I think he's great. Listen, I think she really likes Blake. I think it's going to come down to Greg and Blake, but Blake doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that's ready to get engaged.
Really? Why is that? I actually want to. Why is that? Because I somewhat agree with that. But
really?
Yeah. I don't
know. Over here
know.
shocked.
I want to know.
Oh, really?
I mean, well, I'm also knowing him from Tayshia's season. Like, I think that he kind of was. I feel like he's someone who maybe. At least what I thought is a little too ready, because he was like in with Claire, he was in with Tayshia, he seems in with Katie.
But see, you got to be careful about guys like that, because they come in hot and heavy, and then when things start to get real, a lot of times they're like, whoa, and they start to freak out and they want to jump ship, and that's kind of what I see happening.
Oh,
I mean, I think he said this week, like, I'm not in love yet, and it's like, whoa, okay, don't scream it at me. Like, I get it, you know?
Wait, God. Is that bad?
What do you think, Tayshia?
Well, now
you were there.
I'm kind of screwed because I'm the one that said, like, hey, it's a good idea. No, but I will say there's one thing about Blake. I feel like, yes, he is very much so the guy that's all in for, seems to be whatever is in front of him at the moment. But also I think he also is really level-headed, and his family dynamic has really made him want to value a healthy relationship, I think. And so with that being said, like, yeah, he's like all talks about like sex and penises and weird things all the time. But I will say, like, he does know how to be sensitive and care for other people. So I think that's like a side that he doesn't really show often.
Yeah. Well, he
like,
better show Katie real quick, because time's the ticket.
And Brandi, what do you think about Justin? We talked about Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Justin, I really just feel like I don't know him at all, because he hasn't had very much screen time, aside from his phenomenal expressions that he makes that speak volumes. But I don't know. I feel like the past couple of weeks, I've just been really surprised by Justin, because they haven't shown him very much. And when we got to see him open up on his 101 and got to know him a little bit, I was like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. He's great. Yeah. And he's super cute. And I think she really likes him a lot. I was shocked that she kept him and sent Andrew home this week. I would have flipped those two, if I was calling the shot. Like, I would have thought she would have kept Andrew one more week. But I mean, maybe her and Justin have a connection that, like, we just don't get to see everything, and we haven't seen it yet. And he could be a real contender. I think they have great chemistry together.
Yeah, I do too. I think they have really good chemistry. And when we do see them, I don't know if the facial expressions make it so he doesn't speak up as much, because he kind of talks with his face.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. Like, I do that sometimes too, where I'm like, I'm just not going to say anything. Right? So
yeah,
maybe the facial expressions will hopefully he'll get out of that, and we can hear him talk more, and we can see more of their relationship. Yeah.
Oh God. Well, it's going to get good these next few weeks. I'm telling you guys right now.
Well, Brandi, I want your perspective on this, because a lot of people most people have never done the show, right? So a lot of people watching, they just think it's very unrealistic to fall in love on Bachelor. But you've been watching for a while, and you podcast about it, and you know Wells. Do you buy into it?
Here's the thing. I feel like these are two different questions, right? Can you fall in love that quickly? I think abso-freaking-lutely. Speaking of experience, like, my last relationship, like, I felt like I knew that the minute I met him, that I was like, whoa, like, I want to date this guy. Like, I think I love this guy. And I knew like, that day. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, sad story. We're no longer together, but in that moment, like, absolutely. I think I fell in love super quickly. So can you fall in love in that time frame? Yeah. But I
Yes.
think for the show, I think a lot has changed. Like Wells and I talk about it a lot from the time he was on the show to the time now. It's so the social media has just made it such a different show. And the way, like it's one thing to like, you watched Wells this season on TV and you felt like you knew the guys, but now we get to watch and then we get to follow everyone on social media and you really feel like you know people.
Right.
So it's turned it into like a little bit of a different thing, you know? Can it work?
I have to
think
agree with that.
I think absolutely it can work. I think it's harder now than it was 10 years ago to make it work, but I think it can.
Did you watch him? Did you watch JoJo's season?
Yeah, I did. Well, so that was Wells and I had just met right before he went on that season.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny. Someone tried to set us up on a date, and we did go on a date, and realized very quickly that was not happening. And then became friends. And he was like, "Yeah, so I think I'm going to go on this show." And he was like, "I don't know, like, what do you think?" And I was like, "I think you should go for it, whatever." And I'd never seen it before, but he came back from that, and that's when we started our podcast. But yeah, so, it's funny. It's been cool to see the show like change and evolve since then.
Yeah.
So did Wells going on JoJo season? Is that what got you watching the show? Is that what started your fandom?
How funny!
For sure.
How funny!
Yeah.